Love this song at number 12 on my fantasy playlist. Probably one of the most inventive songs, a nostalgic tour de force if I ever heard one. Everclear with AM radio. AM radio, recollecting the days of AM radio back in the 60s, or in this case, Everclear's case, in the 70s, particularly the early 70s, but going into the late 70s too. Gosh, I don't know. You're probably too young. I had a snack, and I think I left something on my face. But you remember back in the days when the DJs talked between records. Remember that? Growing up in the 60s and 70s, I have vivid recollections of that. DJs, they're talking it up, and gosh, from Tiger Jack here in WTBC here in Tuscaloosa to John Landecker and his boogie checks on WLS in the 70s. Well, anyway, Everclear with AM radio. It's from the album called Songs from an American Movie, Volume 1, Learning How to Smile. That's a very, and I can't pronounce this guy's last name. The lead singer, Alexakis, I think it's Alexakis, Art Alexakis. Lead singer, principal songwriter of Everclear, helped form Everclear actually back in 1991. And some of the songs, the first song I heard by Everclear was Santa Monica. That was in 1996. And they had another one. I don't remember the name of the album. It had the word Afterglow in it. But there were three other songs that came out. I Will Buy You a New Life. That was a big hit for them. Father of Mine was one of their biggest hits around 1997. And Everything to Everyone. That was another pretty big one for Everclear back in 1997. AM Radio samples Mr. Big Stuff by Gene Knight, which was a hit back in 1971. Starts out using this is very cleverly done. They start out using a vintage jingle from KHJ, the legendary KHJ in Los Angeles, and it's about Art Alexakis going back to growing up in the 70s. It's sort of a celebration of the 70s, but life was pretty tough for Art Alexakis when he was growing up. His brother committed suicide. Well, he didn't commit suicide. His brother died of a heroin overdose when he was 15 years old. Now, actually, Art was 12 years old when his brother died of a drug overdose. Same year, Art's 15-year-old girlfriend committed suicide. That's too much. God dog, I remember when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, if that stuff happened to me, it'd be just too overwhelming. And as a matter of fact, it was almost overwhelming for Art Alexakis. He tried to commit suicide. He put sand and rocks in his pocket, and he jumped off the Santa Monica Pier, but he survived. Anyway, AM Radio by Everclear, and I believe that's all I got to say about this record. Did not make Billboard's Hot 100. Should have been a hit. This should have been a top 10 hit. This was one of the great nostalgic puff pieces. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Beach Baby by First Class back in 1974, a song that took a look at the beach scene, the beach music, the Beach Boys, Jan and Dean back in the 60s. This song had sort of a similar nostalgic vibe. AM Radio by Everclear at number 12 on my fantasy playlist of December 30th, 2000.